Hey, what's up guys? Nils here and welcome back to another video. So today we are playing anime Battlegrounds, and I feel like this is a topic that isn't really getting covered a lot, where I want to show you how to actually do rebirths the best way possible, which is a system that was introduced on update 2, which was like 10 days ago or so. And basically every time you rebirth, you get those rebirth points where you can spend them on a bunch of upgrades or other stuff like getting wings where you can fly around the map faster, etc. Now, first thing, because a lot of people don't actually know it and I see it asked a lot on the Discord, is how do you actually get rebirth points and what gives you rebirth points? Now, if you read here, it says rebirth points are calculated based on your level, fighters and ability stars. Now, this isn't exactly really clear, so I'm gonna try to simplify it for you in the easiest way possible. So each character level, or rather 300 character levels, are worth 1 rebirth point. Now, you get your normal character levels by just punching stuff, so you just have to like go on a mob or a boss and just have to permanently click. As you can see, I just got a level. So every 300 of these levels equals to 1 rebirth point. Next up, we have abilities, right? So abilities work in a little bit of a different way. We need 75 ability points for 1 rebirth. Now, let me just go ahead and find where the stars are and how you can see the stars for the... Okay, there we go. So, that being said, regarding the stars, they work in a little bit of a different fashion. And I think this is something that the game could change. So obviously we start with the gold star, right? Each 5 stars allow you to move to a new tier. So basically 1 red star is kind of like having 6 total stars. 1 green star would be having like 11 total stars, etc., right? So one thing here that you should know, and it's really important to know, is that whenever you advance to a new tier, it works slightly different. So let's say that right now I have a spell that has 3 red stars, right? So that would probably mean, if you think about it like with a simple logic, would be 5 gold stars and 3 red stars, that would be 8. That being said, it doesn't actually work like that. So whenever you advance to a tier, each one of these tiers gives you, like, the gold star will give you 1 point for each star, the red star will give you 2 points for each star, the green star will give you 3 points for each star, the blue star will give you 4 points for each star. So it's important to note here that once you are in a tier, you want to get the maximum amount of stars. Like, for example, let's take the number that I mentioned earlier, right? Let's say that you have like 3 red stars. 3 red stars would only give you 6 stars, while it should normally have given you 8 stars, right? Because you would have 5 gold stars and 3 red stars, it should be 8. But because when you are in the red category, each star gives you 2 points, or it contributes to like 2 out of the 75 ability points for the rebirth, you would have only 6, which means that when you are in a category, you want to make sure that you have 5 stars. So like if you have 5 stars on red, you would have 10, 5 stars on green would give you 15, 5 on blue would give you 20, etc. So that you get max value or like normal value. But I think this is something that they should change, and it should just go like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, etc. Anyway, moving on to the last category, we have fighters. So fighters are a little bit tricky because they actually require a lot. So you need 500 total fighter levels for 1 rebirth point. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because 500 levels is a lot. Now, it can be any combination. You can have like 2 players at level 250, which is obviously not possible. You can have like 10 fighters, like these first like 10 up until here, on level 50, or you can have like 50 fighters on level 10. Any combination that is combined a total grant of 500 levels will give you 1 star. So you can go ahead and just split the fighter levels as you wish, and whatever suits your best needs at the time, depending on your resources and your income, etc. But I feel like this is something that you should know, so you can better plan out your rebirths. Now, next up, we can go ahead and talk a little bit, while we're still on the rebirth subject, on what you should use your rebirths for. Like wings, I think that it's something that you should definitely go for, because they are really good and they will really just help you speed up running around the map. Because what you want to be doing is, I will show you in a little bit, you want to be directly going to the last map as soon as you use a rebirth. And next up I would just go for XP gains, which I will also showcase you in a little bit how fast the levels are with like this current XP gain, which is by the way not a lot. And then you would probably go for gems and stars, and that's pretty much the important stuff. Like stamina is not really that important because you mostly just press backspace and fly with wings. You don't use your Q, so stamina is a little bit irrelevant in that regard. Speed is okay, but it's also not something crazy. Fighter speed is also nothing crazy as well, and magnet range is honestly not really useful. But anyway, now that we know all of that stuff, I'm gonna show you how to actually speed up your process of leveling and just go a little bit faster. So let's assume that you had just rebirth, right? What you want to do is you want to use your wings and you want to head over here to the One Piece Island, which is pretty much the last map. And there is a place where you can AFK farm, which I assume a lot of you probably know by now. But in case you don't, I'm just gonna show you in a second. So you want to go on this rock right here and see here. So the goal is to basically attack this thing while positioning yourself on the wall so that your character doesn't move forward, and you just farm it. Now the developers have nerfed the respawn timers of these buildings, unfortunately, and I don't really know why they did that. And this used to be like 1 minute respawn timer at first, which was really good, but now it's like 5 minutes. But anyway, you would just come here, you want to position yourself like slightly in front of this. You want to make sure you turn off shift lock, and you want to put your mouse like anywhere basically ahead of your character. You can just do it like this, and you can just use your auto clicker, and character is just gonna stay here and he's gonna slam that box. Now I'm gonna show you the difference between a character that doesn't have any rebirth points on XP and a character that has rebirth points on XP. And see, basically it's almost maxed. It's 18 out of 20, so it's 90% maxed. And normally if you use a normal character, which I will show you right now, I'm just gonna cut the clip and play a normal character that has no rebirths. It takes 30 seconds to take one level by this method right here. Obviously being level 1, and it's gonna be a lot slower, which is good for you because you can AFK here for longer, but it takes roughly 30 seconds per level. Now having 18 points on the more XP gains, it's gonna take you 21 seconds to kill the box right here or whatever the thing is. So the value is honestly not that big. I think he should really just buff these rebirths, because like doing a rebirth is a lot of trouble, right? Especially if you're just starting out, it takes a lot of time to get to level 300 and whatnot. So I think that should definitely be buffed. Now another thing that I want to show you guys is that there is actually a way to just AFK without moving and just farming levels on the bosses as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and join this arena right here. Alright, so once you jump on any arena, you should head over to the boss, and the main idea for this to work is that you kinda wanna position yourself in a angle or a distance rather that's just enough to hit the boss, but not close enough so that it actually just moves forward. And once again, just like previously, you wanna have your mouse pointing all the way forward from the boss, and it might take you a while, you might have to try it like a few times, but once you get the right spot, you will see that your character just completely stands still and smacks the boss. So if you have just like done rebirth and you just come here to the boss, you can quite comfortably AFK for a very long time, because it's gonna take you a while to kill him, and you get like about 120 levels after a fresh rebirth. As you can see here, like the character doesn't move at all, he's just constantly punching. Now, as I said earlier, 300 levels are worth 1 rebirth point pretty much, right? So levels 1 to 300 are pretty good to do because you can pretty much just AFK punch this boss for a really long time, but after a while you just get strong enough where the boss basically dies relatively fast. So it's not a very reliable AFK method and it does take time. So what I would suggest you guys to do is once you hit level 300, you shouldn't really bother with trying to level up, and instead you just do the same thing. You come over to the boss and you want to set up an auto clicker to start leveling your abilities. So as you can see, I have a whole bunch of abilities on pretty much the highest star amount, and I have equipped another set of them and I'm slowly leveling them up. So you can just come over to the boss and set up your auto clicker to just spam your abilities, and that's another way to just AFK after getting to level 300. And once you feel comfortable enough to rebirth, or you want to rebirth, you can just go ahead and pop the rebirth. But I would highly advise you to just calculate where you are with your rebirth points, with abilities, fighter levels, and character level before you do it. So you make sure you get a maximum value and you don't waste time and effort. Because for example, you could have 70 out of 75 ability stars here, and you could miss 1 rebirth point for pretty much 10 more minutes of just leveling abilities. So that's something that you should keep in mind, and you should keep track of your ability stars. But I think that's pretty much it for this video, guys, and what I wanted to tell you and what I wanted to cover. Now the game started off really good, but it hasn't updated in about 10 days now, so hopefully the numbers are gonna pick back up again after the update. It is a unique game for sure. It's not really a simulator like all of these AFK clicking style simulators that we have on Roblox, so it is a very refreshing game to say the least, and it's definitely worth checking out. It's kind of fun, but I feel like there is some stuff that need to be rebalanced, like I said earlier, when it comes to rebirths and leveling, etc. And hopefully on the next update we're also gonna have a new island. We currently have these 4 islands currently in Peace region, which is pretty much the 4th and the hardest one right now, but hopefully we're gonna see more stuff from this game because the game honestly looks pretty cool. But anyway, guys, as always, if you enjoyed, make sure you click the like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys all on the next one. Take care.